Which everyday item do people waste too much money on? Reddit awards Moai. Takeout coffees. Phones. Fortnite. Starbucks. Crack. Starbucks. They spend too much money on laundry detergent. Food. Rent. Toxic skincare. Subscriptions for streaming services. Alcohol. OnlyFans subscriptions. Coffee. Water. Toilet paper. Discord Nitro. Heroin. Protein powder and other nutritional supplements. Which fictional character, hero or villain, has absolutely no redeeming qualities? Joffrey from GOT. The boy is evil through and through. Fire Lord Ozai. Sauron from Lord of the Rings. He has absolutely no redeeming qualities at all. Tuco Salamanca and his bell-ringing Tio. Tony Soprano's mother. Fucking Ted Faro from Horizon Zero Dawn. Sho Tucker from Full Metal Alchemist, all versions. Dolores Umbridge. Every character from It's Always Sunny. Randall Flagg. Doomsday the Superman Killer. Darkseid. Qualities at all. Which hobbies that people do screams rich people? Equestrian, golf, falconry, flying, and fox hunting. Polo. Yachts and yacht clubs. Warhammer 40K. Hunting people. Horseback riding. Ballroom dancing. Which is interesting because it's an expensive hobby even though the actual act of doing it is completely free if you want it to be. Money laundering. Art collecting. Depending on where they live and how often they do it. Skiing, snowboarding. Yacht party. Archery. Amazingly it's only wood and a strong but my poor ass still can't afford it. Going to space. 'Cause women of Reddit, what was the one thing he did that made you think I'm gonna marry this man? It's more of a pattern than a single incident, but he always did what he said he was going to do. When he looked at me with that sad look and told me that he was sad because it was already late and our date was about to end. 7 years later he still gets the same every time we say goodbye smiling face. He asked my permission before he kissed me. It should be noted that we didn't get married until 5 years later. Lol. My wife said it was because I was open and easy to talk to. That was some 20 years ago. Now she's mostly irritated because I'm open and talk a lot. Later he said, would you prefer working remotely of being in the office? Why? I can jerk it during Zoom meetings. Been remote for 6 years and don't think I could go back. I'd rather be in the office because coming home from work is pretty comfy. Both. Sorry. Working on my own for most of the week, I enjoy an excuse to hang out in my local bar cafe. For me, 2 days in an office workspace and 2 WFH sounds ideal. I would prefer working remotely because I find it more convenient and I feel like I can be more productive when I'm in the comfort of my own home. How did you win the genetic lottery? Recently found out I don't have the gene for Huntington's disease. I had a 50-50 chance of inheriting it. People consistently think that I'm younger than my actual age. I have almost perfectly straight teeth without needing braces. Both of my siblings badly needed braces growing up, so I got pretty lucky. How would you solve the homeless crisis in America? Also need help for those just coming out of incarceration. Many times they don't have stable home and social lives and can't afford first, last and deposit. Can't get bank accounts. Can't put down current address for job applications. Become homeless. Get arrested. Cycle starts again. House. We need a huge emphasis on mental health. Next we need to work on the drug problem. Then health care and education. We could build free houses for everyone. And still have a homeless problem if we don't fix the root cause. Tax Joel Osteen. If the world was ending and you had time to play one more song, what song would you play? The song that doesn't end. Lamb Chops. Rem. End of the World. I would spend the minute picking one. Dust in the Wind by Kansas. The Final Countdown. Europe. Wish You Were Here. Pink Floyd. Champagne Supernova. Oasis. The End. The Doors. Obviously. Edit NVM. Fuck That. HEYAYAYAYAYAYAYA 10-hour version. Highway to Hell. Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Pink Floyd. Eulogy by Tool. Where's My Mind? Breathe in the Air. Pink Floyd. If you could only have one breed of dog for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Mutt. Golden Retriever. I wish I could have my dog who passed away 6 months ago. Sleepy. Black Lab. Australian Shepherd. German Short-Haired Pointer. Wiener Dog. English Springer Spaniel. Golden Retriever. Border Collie. Labradors. Saint Bernard. Great Dane. Australian Cattle Dog. Best dogs I've ever had. Havanese. A Shih Tzu. Rescue Mutt. German Shepherd. Husky. Maine Coon. Boxer. Hot. Mutt. Wiener Dog. It's 2023. What shouldn't exist now? Fucking COVID. Colleges and universities raising prices based on nothing so they can build a new stadium and ignore how bad the dorms or classrooms are. Get fucked. WTAMU. Lead pipes and lead parts in municipal water systems that supply drinking water to residents. 2024 birth certificates. Filling out a form by hand with your name, address, phone, date of birth, etc. when visiting a doctor's office or most other businesses. Police corruption and school shootings. People who have only fans. What is stopping you from getting an air conditioner? My country rarely gets hot enough for air conditioning to be worth it. Not many people have air conditioners here. Yes. I answered the joke question seriously. Fans are better for the environment. Clever. Very good. The shortage of bananas in my blocken. Because only fans is hot. Now. My windows open horizontally, not vertically. I like having fans. Air conditioners don't show up to concerts. Fans are cheaper to run and I don't really need air conditioning in my area. Fans are better. What are some of the best songs in video gaming to have been made? Get Low. Into the Unknown, from Subnautica, really adds to the atmosphere of the game. To Zanarkand from FFX. Still Alive from Portal is probably my favorite. Even though you broke my heart and killed me. And tore me to pieces. And threw every piece into a fire. As they burned it hurt because I was so happy for you. Victorian Fear from Portrait of Ruin. Assassin's Creed 2 Ezio's Family. Simple and Clean Hikaru Utada. Eyes on Me by Faye Wong. Final Fantasy VIII. Still Alive from Portal. What are you really good at? Recognizing an actor celebrity from their voice. So far it's been a mostly useless skill. Remembering the dumb stuff I did. Procrastinating. Playing the piano. Spelling. Finding weird, strange and odd things. And attracting weird, strange and odd things. Just like the time an albino squirrel was in a tree next to my window. Eating a barbecue chicken wing while making eye contact with me. Just to name one. Self-sabotage. Making omelets. Damn. This comment section needs a hug. Being ugly. Strange. What can be considered the best smell ever? The smell of an old pine forest reminds me of hanging out in TGE woods at my grandfather's summer house as a kid. There is a smell, which only happens after a really cold snap of weather. And the first day of the cold snap, early in the morning, it's like this super cold fresh smell. And everything is just super cold and frozen around you. I love it. Freshly baked bread, hanging out in what could you talk about for 30 minutes with absolutely no prep? My crazy dream about ducks enslaving chickens to create more ducks. All sorts of things to do with cooking. I'm very passionate about it. Damn near anything. I can run my mouth for 30 minutes without effort. Myself. Cosmere law. Trauma. Horror media. IT how it's basically useless since the hackers are in complete control. Trains. All things Harry Potter. Writing systems and languages. American football. Cars. Psychotropic hallucinogens. Mountaineering. What do you do if you have an amazing partner but feel the urge to get involved with other people? Have a quick wank and let the post-nut clarity set in. Do I notice attractive people? Sure. Would I ever do anything to hurt my wife? Fuck no. You practice something us big kids call self-control. Slap yourself in the face and have some damn control. If you can't do that, just leave her and spare her the hurt. You cannot have it both ways and still be a decent person. You can bring up an open relationship, but I guarantee that will lead to losing her, either sooner or later. Easy. Don't. As big kids, what do you think of solely having gender-neutral bathrooms in a public space? I think it works in small spaces like coffee shops, but in bigger places like malls there should be gender-neutral family, men's, and women's bathrooms. As long as they are single-person restrooms, every bathroom should be that way. IMO. Just have all stalls with doors that go all the way to the floor. And I don't care. Same idea as family restrooms. I have more issues with kids crawling under dressing room stalls. There should be. What do you think of the parents that kick their kids out as soon as they have turned 18 years old? They're not Italian, that's for sure. Here in Italy, when the child is finally ready to leave the house at the age of 35, the family gets together to bid him a tearful goodbye. Before they move 1 kilometer away from their parents' house. My BF got kicked out at 18 and his parents literally said to his face, "Since you were an accident. And we didn't mean to have you. We need you out of the house now so we can actually relax like we used to before you were born." Anyway, I think extremely badly of them. Together to bid. What food is underrated? Good old long grain, white rice. Said the Korean guy. Baked potatoes. You can top them with almost anything, and they are super nutritious. Dim sum. Bruschetta. So simple but always hits the spot. Spinach. Tuna. I ain't talking the 99-cent stuff. The yellowfin. It hits different. Broccoli. Meatloaf. Cabbage. Ravioli. Hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Seafood. I do not know. Like when I tell people that I love seafood, they say something like, "Ugh. How can you eat that?" In it, what is a sad reality of life? Everyone you know will eventually die. SpongeBob isn't as good as it used to be. Prices will rise. Politicians will philander. We will all get old. That dogs don't live nearly long enough. That it never really goes as planned. Hello. I'm here. There's no justice. I found the perfect flavor tinned tuna several years ago and shortly after they stopped making it. I can never get that tuna again. Friends you thought would always remain close can drift apart, sometimes never to be heard from again. Sometimes the bad guys win in the end. What is legal but really shouldn't be. Civil forfeitures. Monthly based subscriptions for software. 2 unskippable advertisements on a vid. Taxation of underage citizens, anyone who can't vote yet. Political lobbying, particularly of the corporate variety. No lawmaker should be explicitly or implicitly indebted to any for-profit entity. Super injunctions in the UK, aka rich people paying lawyers to bury negative stories about them in the press. Advertisements for prescription medication. Bribery in the US. Excuse me. Campaign donations. What is something we did before COVID that you can't believe we did? My law school didn't excuse absences when you were sick, and if you missed 6 classes you could not take the exam. So we would all show up with the flu or an hour after surgery. Kissing that fucking rock in Ireland. Commute 1 hour each way through rush hour traffic to sit at a desk all day. I was once flown in our corporate plane 3 states away for a 1-hour meeting to repeat in person what I had already said in 2 different emails. The situation needed that personal touch. Sharing a communion wine cup, the priest just wiped it with a cloth between each person. Each way. What is the best country to live in? Definitely not New Zealand. All of you stay away. Canada if you can deal with weather. Norway. Denmark except for the weather. I prefer Canada. I have never heard a single word about Latvia good, bad, or indifferent. Might be low-key enough to just live out my days in peace. Finland. X200b. We have Santa. Switzerland or Scandinavian countries. New Zealand is the worst country in the world. Stop moving here and brining your politics and mannerisms here. You are ruining it for us. What is the best pet's name you've ever heard? A writer who named their pet kitten Caboodle. A Redditor once posted a photo of their little, grey kitten named Admiral Anchovy. That is all. A bunny named Hoptimus Prime. I had 2 dogs named Frank and Stein. My guinea pig was Wanda Wilhelmina Wobblebottom. My grandfather was a judge and he named one of his dogs Judge Learned Paw. It's a tie between a guinea pig named Dalton McGuinty, old Prime Minister of Ontario, and a purebred $4,000 cat named Lord McFluffykins III Esquire of Manchester. Dogs named. What is the best way to get a 6-pack? Go to the liquor store. No idea why anyone would want a 6-pack when you can have a whole keg. Diet, exercise. Everyone has a 6-pack. Lose the fat and you'll discover yours. Scrounge up $10 and go to 7-Eleven. Okay. I think you mean a strong tummy. It took hard work and dedication. After years of trying I gave up. Now I'm working on a kegger. It's easier, faster results. Sit-ups and diet trimming fat. Crunches. 6-pack. What is the first thing you do when you wake up? Get out of bed and go to the toilet. Check my phone. Unfortunately. Say the word fuck. Mutter fuck, then hit the snooze. Big sigh, fuck. Open my eyes. Panic. Wake up. Grab beer. Grab rear. Shave beard. Put on some scene gear. Get screamed at by 2 9-pound cats. Grab a brush and put on a little makeup. Think about why I didn't died in my sleep. Make my bed. Hit my vape. God, I need to quit. Take my epilepsy medication. Wish I didn't have to wake up. Urinate. What is the worst U.S. state to live and work in? Mississippi. There's literally nothing to write home about. It's almost last in every metric. At least, Alabama has Huntsville, as well as a pretty sizable manufacturing base. Clearly Mississippi. State of poverty. I'd like to be as far from Ohio as possible at this particular moment. State of denial. The state of misery, Missouri. They're all pretty shitty, take your pick. New Jersey. I pay almost $4,000 in property taxes each year for a 1,100 square foot condo. Florida. State of what is totally unfair but normalized. Men who are domestic violence victims are taken much less seriously than women who are domestic violence victims. Punishing success. The better your work, the more frequently you get rewarded with more work. Lazy, incompetent people being promoted. Nepotism. The genetic lottery. Funerals. Paying stupid money to bury someone. Men should make the first move. Y'all realize that men can be just as shy as a stereotypical maiden in a fairy tale, right? Nepotism. Almost anything people justify by saying, "It is what it is." People being what lie do people need to stop believing? You no longer get zits when you get older. Tear here to open. That you'll do that thing later. Whatever the thing may be. No, you won't. Just do it now before the dread and guilt set in. Lol. That mama birds won't take their babies back after humans touch them. Put that baby back. Edit. I didn't expect that to take off. Lol. But yes, there are many types of birds that will end up on the floor either way. But you might end up saving one bird that gets to stay. Smile with a halo. We use only 10 of our brain. That everyone gets a happy ending. After what only works in movies. Shooting a gas tank so it explodes. Or removing a bullet from yourself and then you're fine. Running for a very long time and then being able to talk normally. A hushed conversation immediately after shooting a gun indoors without ear protection. Stalking a woman until she finally sees how great of a guy you are. And then you two ending up with a happily ever after. CPR that lasts a minute and the victim wakes up and is fine. The way they talk while driving. I talk. But I never take my eyes off the road for as long as they do in movies. And what should be legalized? Emulation of video games when the game publisher has not used it in forever. All customer-facing employees have the right to fight one customer a year without notice. Assisted suicide. When it's time. I'd like to go on my terms. It makes no sense that we put dogs and other animals down humanely. But not people. Controlled lethal duels, old Western style. I would never do it. But I think it would eliminate a lot of stupid people and get a lot of gun nuts to STFU. Putting money into other people's parking meters. What type of mattress is best for side sleepers? If you go to a mattress store, they have a chart that shows you what bed firmness plushness is ideal for your sleeping position. I bought a mattress about a month ago and it has been life-changing. Medium. Firm sucks. Unfortunately, a good comfy mattress can cost thousands, but they last at least 10 years. Try a lot and buy online from the company. Mattress stores are a rip-off. I sleep about 70 sides and 30 back. We have an extra firm latex with a gel topper and it's perfect for me. The main thing is I can't handle any mattress where you can remotely feel coils. What US politician should just fuck off? Better question is which ones shouldn't fuck off? Much shorter list. Mitch is a spineless worm. I really dislike George Santos. Literally anyone else in the country would be fired if they lied about their resume like he has. But for some reason they try to sweep his lies under the rug and just move past it. I know they all lie, but his are a different type of lying. MTG. Ted Cruz. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Gates. All of them. Marjorie Taylor. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marge and Boobert. Rick Scott. Anyone who looks like a sperm cell needs go. Try to sweep. What was life like before the internet was invented? Quieter. I could really elaborate beyond that, but quieter sums it up very well. I remember going to the library to look at encyclopedias every time I had to write a paper as a kid. Now I can access that information on a cell phone. Not near as bad as we thought it was at the time. Much more freedom, and people were allowed to have different opinions without fear. It was also more peaceful, and there was just less information overload. I remember what was ruined by the internet. The name Karen. My attention span. My innocence. Video games. Don't get me wrong. It also did a lot of good for them. But there were no microtransactions, massive downloads, updates, or lag on old cartridge games. Really, the only downside was not being able to play with others. Unless you had friends over. Playboy. A lot of people's sanity. Everything. Dating. Banana, peach and eggplant. Tits. It's just one Google search away. What was the first major celebrity death you remember? Michael Jackson. Elvis Presley. Princess Diana and JFK Jr. Princess Diana. Jim Henson for sure. I was 9 years old at the time, and everyone on the playground was talking about it. It was big and very sad news. John Lennon. Think it was Steve Irwin. Probably Kurt Cobain. Edit Brandon Lee. Selena Quintanilla, folded hands, light skin tone. Steve Irwin. I was 16, but that was one of the first that really hit me. Elvis Presley, I think thinking face. And what's more important to you? Your job title or salary? Salary. They can call me the office idiot for all I care. My title doesn't pay the bills. Whoever chooses job title here is a fucking lunatic. Who on earth would pick job title over salary? Call me the Poop Smith if I make $1 million a year doing menial office work. I'll even wear it on a badge. Salary. Job titles don't pay the bills. Salary. I tell my boss that too. Call me the bitch boy for all I care. I'm strictly in it for the money. Salary. Titles don't mean squat to me. What's your favorite band with the in their name? Echo and the Bunnymen. The Y might be giants rolling on the floor laughing. The Used. The Clash. The Police. The Doobie Brothers. Rage Against the Machine. The White Stripes. The Cure, Heartsuit. The Strokes. Queens of the Stone Age. The Killers. The Sums. The Ramones. The Doors. The Band. The Smiths. The Wonder Years. The Cranberries. The Beatles. The All-American Rejects. Between the Buried and Me. The Cure. Bring Me the Horizon. The Offspring. The Clash. The Who. Queens of. What's your favorite childhood video game? Ocarina of Time. Chrono Trigger. Mario Kart Double Dash. Doom on Windows 95. GoldenEye 007. Tetris. Commander Keen. To this day, Zelda Majora's Mask is my favorite game of all time. Super Mario Bros. 3. Wii Sports Resort. Final Fantasy VII The Original. Simpsons Hit and Run. COD 4. Spyro Year of the Dragon. Unstoppable Fun. Guitar Hero. Worms 1995. The one with pixel graphic. Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex. Ratchet and Clank. Super. What's your take on capitalism? I don't have capital. I mean, The guy who invented it was still pretty clear that if it went unregulated and if you allowed businessmen to control labor and political systems, you're gonna have a bad fucking time. No one really knows what's going to happen or what kind of future we are headed towards, and this is very dangerous. Living with the idea we have unlimited resources is dangerous. It's an incredible engine for progress and growth, but has to be regulated because it tends to concentrate wealth, create monopolies, and in general doesn't handle negative externalities well. Lowercase ism. Future. Where do you put your hands when you go to sleep? This post feels like when you realize you're breathing around your mom. Under my pillow. Usually one to the side of my head while the other is cupping my balls. Usually in the cupboard or under my bed for safekeeping. I wouldn't want him to get ruined, and having them on hand is handy when I need to lend someone a hand. Under my face like a freaking baby. On my boobs grimace. Across my chest like a psycho LMAO, but I sleep on my side. At the end of my wrists. Practically anywhere I'm fussy with sleeping positions. One near my chest and one under my pillow. Around my neck. And is where the hell are you supposed to look when getting a haircut? I zone out and enter my mind world. Straightforward. Use the mirror in front of you to check out what's happening around you. I close my eyes. Can't see anything with my glasses off anyway. Into their eyes. It's customary to stare directly into your barber's eyes. Lock in, and minimal blinking is preferred. As long as you do the customary I will not stare at her cleavage when she's directly in front of me. You should be good. I close my eyes most of the time and almost fall asleep. Can't see. Which car brand attracts the worst drivers? Nissan Altima. Hands down worst drivers. Dodge Ram trucks. BMW definitely attracts the most entitled drivers. Which usually means the worst drivers. BMW. No contest. From my personal experience. BMW. Mercedes. Tesla. Just idiots in general. Changing lanes without signals. Cutting people off with no regard for others' safety. Etc. White BMWs specifically. No wonder my sis wants a white BMW. She's a total bitch lol.